So I never really heard a straight gospel message of what Jesus did for me. So that was always a little bit of mystery going into college. Is when I really started taking things more seriously. I sat down with myself at the end of my sophomore year. I asked myself a simple question: what do you want? What would be the best thing for you in life? And I had this nagging feeling that something had to be true, that we weren't just placed here randomly. And so I asked myself, well, what does the world have to offer? And I went down the list of money, success, drugs, whatever source of dopamine there was out there. I knew that probably wasn't the reason why I was alive. Ultimately, the answer I settled on was, I think I want to know God. And I really don't think I'm the source of that brilliant conclusion. I think there was a little bit of guidance there from God, because I was searching. And so I began my journey of, I want to know God. I want to know God as my friend. That would be amazing. So I began searching a little bit more concretely and tried a few different things that seemed related, like meditation, and investigated a few philosophies, but I couldn't get past this Jesus guy. Reading through the Gospels, he just seemed to teach the most goodest stuff, if you get what I mean. Like, if somebody slaps you across the face, you turn the other cheek. Well, I don't see a better, nicer, gooder answer than that. If somebody steals your coat, offer them your cloak as well. Wow. And then of course the one everyone's mostly familiar with, and that is, if somebody makes you walk 1 mile, go with them 2. And that makes a person pause and say, wow, I'm requiring this of you, and yet you're giving more. Why? And that creates an opportunity for you to say, well, I've been loved by God in a way that goes far beyond what I could ever hope or imagine. And I was struck also in that season in particular that I couldn't do it on my own without outside help, without outside wisdom. Jesus was very clear when he said, whoever hears my teaching and puts my words into practice will be like the man who built his house upon the rock. The wind blew, the rain fell, the waves beat against that house, but it stood strong. And those who hear my words but do not put them into practice are like a man who built his house upon the sand. The rain falls, the wind blows, the waves beat against that house, and great is its destruction. And so Jesus was making a very compelling argument that he had a source of understanding and knowledge that I did not. And my sister had asked me some questions earlier, and I had prayed with her and had experienced God's presence for the first time in my life. And I thought back to that moment when I was asking myself, what would be the best thing for me, success or whatever the world had to offer. And I went down that list real quickly when I felt God's presence. And it was like, wow, this is better than any success I could ever achieve. This is better than any drug. This is better. And I felt that still small voice of the Lord speak to me and say, this is just a small taste of what your relationship with me is going to be like. And I said to him, my first real prayer, I want more. And I never looked back. And I've had a rocky life since, but honestly, even if you don't get anything you want out of life, and that may very well be the case, you never know what life is going to throw at you. I know what it's like to live my life without Jesus, and I know what it's like to live my life with Jesus. And although I've stumbled on the way, I know that I have a Savior in heaven who's ransomed me from my sins. And I'm eternally grateful and happy for my destiny.